You may not see them, but they are there. Chains forged not of iron but of thought. Chains that hold men in poverty even when opportunity stands within reach. These chains whisper that wealth is for others, not for you. They whisper that fortune is decided by luck, by family, by circumstance. They whisper that no matter how hard you work, you are destined to remain where you are. These whispers are lies. They are the essence of poverty thinking. The tragedy is that most men accept them as truth. They believe poverty is permanent, that money is scarce, that wealth is reserved for the few. They measure their life by limitation instead of vision. They tell themselves stories of lack until those stories become their reality. Poverty thinking is not simply about having little. It is about expecting little, believing little, and becoming little. You may believe you are free because you wake, work, and earn. But freedom without wealth is often just survival in disguise. Poverty thinking convinces you that survival is enough. That wages alone are all you can ask for. That discipline, risk, and vision are for others. So you drift through decades chained to small expectations. Look at the man trapped in poverty thinking. He rises early, he labors long, he spends his wage, and he starts again. He tells himself he is diligent, yet he never sows beyond survival. He avoids investment, he avoids boldness, he avoids growth. His aura radiates limitation. Men sense it and do not entrust him with opportunity. Fortune avoids him because his thoughts repel abundance. Now look at the man who breaks these chains. He recognizes that wealth begins in the mind. He dares to believe that money is abundant, that fortune rewards those who expand service, that he is worthy of wealth. He trains his thoughts to focus on growth, on value, on vision. His aura radiates expansion. Men sense it and trust him. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns those who first conquer thought. Consider Napoleon Hill's teaching, every fortune begins with a state of mind. Wealth does not come to the man who merely works, but to the man who works with a definite purpose, with belief, with vision. Poverty thinking says, I cannot. Wealth thinking says, if I desire and persist, I will. Mark this truth, your outer world is the mirror of your inner thought. If you believe in lack, your life will reflect lack. If you decree abundance, your life will begin to reflect abundance. The law of mind does not fail. Say this aloud, I refuse poverty thinking. I choose wealth in my mind. My thoughts are my fortune. Repeat it until limitation disgusts you. Declare it until belief feels natural. Write it until your hand knows decree. Do not excuse poverty thinking as humility. Humility does not mean weakness. True humility is strength under control. Poverty thinking is surrender. And surrender engraves chains. By 30, if you still accept poverty thinking, your prime is already stolen. By 40, limitation will be your nature. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you break it now, your decades will blaze with expansion. Say it again, I refuse poverty thinking. I choose wealth in my mind. My thoughts are my fortune. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the timid but the bold in thought. The second chain of poverty thinking is the fear of scarcity. It convinces you that wealth is limited, that if someone else gains, you must lose. It whispers that opportunity is rare, that resources are fixed, that abundance is only a dream. This fear poisons your decisions, shrinks your vision, and locks you into small living. You may believe scarcity is real. You may point to your bank account, your wages, your debts. But the truth is this, the universe is abundant. Money circulates, ideas multiply, opportunities expand for those who believe in growth. Scarcity is not in the world. Scarcity is in the mind. Look at the man ruled by scarcity. He clutches what little he has, afraid to risk, afraid to invest, afraid to give. He measures life by what he can lose instead of what he can create. His fear makes him cautious when he should be bold, selfish when he should be generous, doubtful when he should believe. His aura radiates lack. Men sense it and mistrust him. Fortune avoids him because his energy repels increase. Now look at the man who lives by abundance. He believes money is a tool, not a master. He sees opportunity everywhere because his mind is trained to find it. He gives more than he is paid for, he invests when others hide, he creates value instead of hoarding. His aura radiates confidence. Men sense it and support him. Fortune bends to him because the world rewards those who believe in abundance. Consider Andrew Carnegie. He did not fear scarcity. He gave away much of his fortune while still building his empire. He believed in circulation, in expansion, in abundance. That belief drew more wealth than even he could give away. Contrast him with men who hoarded every coin, terrified of loss. They are forgotten. His name endures. Mark this truth: fear of scarcity creates poverty. Faith in abundance creates wealth. The antidote to scarcity is generosity with purpose. Each time you give more than you receive, you engrave increase into your subconscious. Each time you risk with faith, your aura brightens. Each time you act in belief of abundance, opportunity yields. Say this aloud: I reject scarcity. I live in abundance. My wealth expands as I give, as I create, as I believe. Repeat it until fear disgusts you. Declare it until confidence feels natural. Write it until your hand knows faith. Do not excuse scarcity as realism. Realism without vision is just fear with another name. The man who calls himself practical but refuses abundance is already defeated. True realism sees both the risk and the reward, but chooses faith because without it nothing grows. By 30, if scarcity rules you, your potential is already dimmed. By 40, fear will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you choose abundance now, your decades will blaze with wealth. Say it again: I reject scarcity. I live in abundance. My wealth expands as I give, as I create, as I believe. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the fearful but the abundant. The third chain of poverty thinking is the belief that wages alone will secure your future. It convinces you that a paycheck is safety, that labor traded for money is the only path, that as long as you work hard for another, life will be stable. But wages are not wealth. Wages are survival. The man who serves wages only remains a servant forever. You may believe you are diligent because you rise early, labor long, and receive your pay on time. But if all your effort is given only for the wage, you sell your life cheaply. You measure your worth by another's coin instead of your own creation. You build someone else's fortune while ignoring your own. Look at the man enslaved by wages. He labors faithfully but never expands beyond what he is paid for. He calculates every effort, giving only the minimum required. He waits for promotion before he gives more. He asks, why should I work harder if I am not rewarded now? His aura radiates limits. Men sense it and pass him over. Fortune avoids him because he proves he cannot be trusted with abundance. Now look at the man who breaks these chains. He understands wages are temporary but value is eternal. He gives more than he is paid for. He adds thought, creativity, persistence to every task. He invests extra hours in building skills, creating opportunities, serving more than expected. His aura radiates abundance. Men sense it and reward him. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns those who sow in excess. Consider Charles Schwab. He began as a worker in the steel mills, not as president. He did not limit his labor to his wage. He gave more, fought more, contributed more. His aura caught the attention of Carnegie, who lifted him from the mill floor to the head of an empire. Contrast him with men who gave only what was asked. They spent decades in the same position, forgotten, poor, anonymous. Mark this truth: wages are chains if you stop there. Value is freedom if you go beyond. The antidote to wage slavery is excess service. Each time you give more than required, you engrave growth into your subconscious. Each time you create beyond your wage, your aura brightens. Each time you sow more, opportunity yields. Say this aloud: I prove my worth before I am paid. I give more than I receive. My value multiplies my wealth. Repeat it until calculation disgusts you. Declare it until service feels natural. Write it until your hand knows abundance. Do not excuse wage limitation as prudence. Prudence without growth is just fear with a mask. The man who refuses to give more than he is paid for proves he is unfit for advancement. The man who gives in abundance proves he is ready for crowns. By 30, if wages rule you, your future is already stolen. By 40, smallness will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you embrace value now, your decades will blaze with increase. Say it again, I prove my worth before I am paid. I give more than I receive. My value multiplies my wealth. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the servant of wages, but the creator of value. The fourth chain of poverty thinking is the illusion of busyness. It convinces you that constant motion is progress, that fatigue is achievement, that long hours equal destiny. You fill your days with endless tasks, your nights with exhaustion, and your years with routines that build nothing. Poverty thinking celebrates busyness. Wealth thinking demands definiteness. You may believe diligence is measured by hours. You may imagine that the harder you work, the closer you are to success. But if your effort is scattered, your years will vanish in noise without result. The world does not reward the man who works the hardest. It rewards the man who works with aim. Look at the man trapped in busyness. He wakes early, runs from task to task, answers every demand. He boasts of being busy, but he has no clear direction. At the end of the year, he has fatigue but not fortune, motion but not mastery. His aura radiates strain, not certainty. Men sense it and do not follow him. Fortune avoids him because his energy is scattered. Now look at the man who breaks this illusion. He writes his definite chief aim. He bends every act toward it. He refuses distractions. He judges his day not by tasks completed but by progress toward his vision. His aura radiates focus. Men sense it and trust him. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns the man with direction, not the man with exhaustion. Consider Abraham Lincoln. He faced defeat after defeat, yet every act pointed to his definite aim to preserve the Union and abolish slavery. His days were not filled with random motion but with purposeful persistence. His aura grew steady until the nation itself leaned on it. Contrast him with politicians who filled their days with speeches and errands but no vision. They are forgotten. He is remembered. Mark this truth: busyness is poverty. Focus is wealth. The antidote to the illusion of busyness is definiteness of purpose. Each time you cut away distraction, you engrave clarity into your subconscious. Each time you act toward your chief aim, your aura brightens. Each time you persist in focus, opportunity yields. Say this aloud: I measure by progress, not hours. Every act bends me closer to my chief aim. Repeat it until busyness disgusts you. Declare it until focus feels natural. Write it until your hand knows purpose. Do not excuse busyness as responsibility. Responsibility without aim is slavery. The man who fills his days with noise proves he fears silence. The man who directs his days with clarity proves he commands destiny. By 30, if busyness rules you, your strength is already wasted. By 40, distraction will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you embrace focus now, your decades will blaze with mastery. Say it again: I measure by progress, not hours. Every act bends me closer to my chief aim. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the busy, but the purposeful. The fifth chain of poverty thinking is uncontrolled emotion. It convinces you that passion without direction is enough, that anger proves strength, that indulgence proves freedom. But fire left ungoverned does not build. It burns. It consumes years, drains energy, and leaves only ashes where greatness might have stood. You may believe passion alone will carry you. You may imagine intensity itself as achievement. But raw fire without purpose destroys more lives than it builds. True wealth does not come from extinguishing passion but from directing it with discipline into creation. Look at the man consumed by emotion. He quarrels in anger, indulges in envy, wastes hours in pleasure. He mistakes appetite for life and intensity for progress. His aura radiates chaos. Men sense it and withdraw. Fortune avoids him because his fire cannot be trusted. By 40, his passion has burned his opportunities. By 50, only regret remains. Now look at the man who transmutes his fire. He feels deeply, but he governs his feelings with decision. He turns anger into resolve, desire into enterprise, sorrow into endurance, ambition into achievement. His aura radiates power. Men sense it and respect him. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns the man who commands his fire. Consider Thomas Edison. His passion was relentless. Yet he did not waste it in indulgence. He transmuted it into invention. Sleepless nights, countless failures, endless frustrations all poured into creations that changed the world. Contrast him with men equally passionate who squandered their fire in dissipation. They are forgotten. Edison endures. Mark this truth: uncontrolled passion is poverty. Directed passion is wealth. The antidote to emotional waste is transmutation. Each time you channel fire into purpose, you engrave mastery into your subconscious. Each time you direct emotion into creation, your aura brightens. Each time you govern desire, opportunity yields. Say this aloud: I turn fire into force. My emotions serve my purpose, not my weakness. Repeat it until indulgence disgusts you. Declare it until direction feels natural. Write it until your hand knows mastery. Do not excuse indulgence as freedom. Freedom without discipline is slavery to appetite. True freedom is commanding your fire to build your destiny. By 30, if emotion rules you, your strength is already weakened. By 40, indulgence will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you transmute now, your decades will blaze with creative force. Say it again: I turn fire into force. My emotions serve my purpose, not my weakness. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the reckless but the master of passion. The sixth chain of poverty thinking is isolation. It convinces you that strength lies in walking alone, that you can fight your battles without counsel, that independence means refusing help. But a lone candle, though it glows bravely, is easily extinguished by a single breath. Wealth is never built in isolation. It is multiplied by alliance. You may believe solitude is power. You may imagine no one can be trusted. But the law of success is harmony. When two or more minds unite with definite purpose, a new force is born, a mastermind greater than the sum of its parts. Alone your aura flickers. United it blazes. Look at the man chained by isolation. He mistrusts others, hides his ideas, carries burdens alone. He rejects advice, refuses counsel, fears betrayal. His aura radiates weakness disguised as pride. Men sense it and keep their distance. Fortune avoids him because one man cannot command the strength of many. Now look at the man who embraces alliance. He seeks partners with vision, persistence, and faith. He builds harmony with chosen allies. He invests time in trust, in counsel, in cooperation. His aura radiates strength multiplied. Men sense it and join him. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns those who unite for a greater aim. Consider Andrew Carnegie. He confessed openly that his fortune came not from his hands alone but from the men he gathered around him. He built steel with engineers, financiers, and organizers who shared his definite purpose. Alone he would have remained ambitious but small. With alliance, he built an empire. Mark this truth: isolation is poverty. Alliance is wealth. The antidote to isolation is harmony with purpose. Each time you join forces with allies, you engrave strength into your subconscious. Each time you build trust with vision, your aura brightens. Each time you unite with others, opportunity yields. Say this aloud: I unite with chosen allies. Together our strength multiplies. Together our vision commands destiny. Repeat it until pride disgusts you. Declare it until harmony feels natural. Write it until your hand knows cooperation. Do not excuse isolation as independence. Independence without alliance is weakness. True independence is choosing your allies wisely and multiplying strength through harmony. By 30, if you still walk alone, your power is already diminished. By 40, isolation will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you build alliances now, your decades will blaze with multiplied force. Say it again, I unite with chosen allies. Together our strength multiplies. Together our vision commands destiny. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the isolated but the united. The seventh chain of poverty thinking is surrender. It convinces you that defeat is final, that obstacles mean stop, that failure proves unworthiness. It whispers, this is not meant for you. Try something easier. Quit before you suffer more. And men obey. They surrender their dreams, their efforts, their destiny. You may believe quitting is wisdom. You may tell yourself you are being practical. But every surrender strengthens weakness until it becomes habit. And habit once formed rules the decades. Look at the man chained by surrender. At 30, he starts a venture and quits at the first obstacle. At 35, he tries again, surrenders once more. By 40, quitting is his reflex. His aura radiates instability. Men sense it and withdraw trust. Fortune avoids him because he has broadcast defeat for years. Now look at the man who persists. He faces obstacles and grows stronger. He meets defeat and learns deeper lessons. He refuses to bow even when others laugh, doubt, or oppose. His aura radiates endurance. Men sense it and follow him. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns not the swift but the steady. Consider the story of R.U. Darby. He and his uncle pursued gold, drilled for weeks, struck a vein, and then lost it. After a few carts of ore, the vein vanished. They surrendered and sold their machinery. The junkman who bought it hired an engineer, who discovered the vein lay only 3 feet deeper. 3 feet from fortune, they surrendered. But Darby learned. He vowed never again to quit at the first obstacle. He carried that lesson into insurance sales and built a fortune greater than gold. Mark this truth, defeat is not failure. Defeat is temporary if you persist. The antidote to surrender is persistence. Each time you continue when others stop, you engrave strength into your subconscious. Each time you rise again after defeat, your aura brightens. Each time you persist, opportunity yields. Say this aloud, I persist until victory is won. Delay cannot break me. Defeat cannot define me. Repeat it until surrender disgusts you. Declare it until endurance feels natural. Write it until your hand knows persistence. Do not excuse surrender as practicality. Practicality without faith is cowardice. The man who calls quitting wisdom has already buried his crown. The man who calls persistence foolishness has already surrendered his destiny. By 30, if you surrender easily, your strength is already fading. By 40, excuses will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you persist now, your decades will blaze with victory. Say it again, I persist until victory is won. Delay cannot break me. Defeat cannot define me. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the quitter but the man who endures. The eighth chain of poverty thinking is neglect of thought. It convinces you that your inner world is harmless, that what you think privately has no effect on your future. But thought is the first cause. Every action begins in the mind. Every habit is born in thought. Every destiny is carved by the words you repeat to yourself. A hollow mind creates a hollow life. You may believe you are safe because no one hears your thoughts. You may imagine your private doubts and fears stay hidden. But your subconscious hears everything. It accepts every word, every image, every belief you feed it. Then it obeys. If you fill it with fear, it builds chains. If you fill it with faith, it builds crowns. Look at the man with a hollow mind. He entertains gossip, dwells on complaint, repeats fear, and expects failure. His thoughts scatter, and so his life scatters. His aura radiates confusion. Men sense it and mistrust him. Fortune avoids him because he cannot command his own mind. Now look at the man who guards his temple of thought. He begins and ends the day with affirmations. He decrees his definite aim to his subconscious. He feeds his mind with gratitude, vision, and faith. He rejects gossip, refuses complaint, and ignores fear. His aura radiates calm authority. Men sense it and follow him. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns those who master their inner court. Consider Booker T. Washington. Surrounded by poverty and prejudice, he might have filled his mind with bitterness. But he chose faith, vision, and gratitude. His aura grew so radiant that men who might have opposed him instead were compelled to help him. Contrast him with those who surrendered to resentment. They are forgotten. His name inspires. Mark this truth: the hollow mind is ruin. The filled mind is destiny. The antidote to hollow thought is deliberate decree. Each time you affirm purpose, you engrave power into your subconscious. Each time you reject weakness, your aura brightens. Each time you choose faith, opportunity yields. Say this aloud: I guard my thoughts. I decree my aim. Infinite intelligence aligns with me. Repeat it until complaint disgusts you. Declare it until faith feels natural. Write it until your hand knows decree. Do not excuse negative thought as harmless. The subconscious never rests. It listens always. If you do not feed it deliberately, the world will feed it fear, doubt, and weakness. The man who neglects his temple drifts. The man who fills it commands. By 30, if your mind is hollow, your future is already dim. By 40, weakness will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you guard your thoughts now, your decades will blaze with certainty. Say it again: I guard my thoughts. I decree my aim. Infinite intelligence aligns with me. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the careless but the mindful. The ninth chain of poverty thinking is wasted time. It convinces you that hours are cheap, that days can be borrowed back, that delay is harmless. But time is the most costly substance in existence. Once surrendered, it never returns. The man who wastes time is the poorest man alive, no matter his money. You may believe you still have time. You may tell yourself you will start tomorrow, next week, next year. But tomorrow is never promised. Each day you delay, the chains tighten. Each year you drift, the reckoning approaches. By 50, the chains are sealed. By 60, regret is unbreakable. Look at the man who wastes time. He spends hours in idle distraction, in entertainment without purpose, in conversation without value. He postpones his dreams, telling himself he will begin when the moment is right. His aura radiates lethargy. Men sense it and pass him over. Fortune avoids him because his energy signals waste. Now look at the man who honors time. He treats each day as treasure. He rises with purpose, bends his hours to his definite aim, invests time in growth, creation, and service. He refuses distractions, rejects delay, despises waste. His aura radiates urgency. Men sense it and respect him. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns those who honor the clock of destiny. Consider Benjamin Franklin. He understood the value of time so deeply that he built his life on the principle: do not squander time, for that is the stuff life is made of. His careful investment of hours multiplied into inventions, enterprises, and influence that endure centuries. Contrast him with men who wasted their decades. They are forgotten. His wisdom remains. Mark this truth: wasted time is ruin. Honored time is wealth. The antidote to waste is urgency with purpose. Each time you guard an hour, you engrave discipline into your subconscious. Each time you refuse distraction, your aura brightens. Each time you invest wisely, opportunity yields. Say this aloud: I honor time. My hours build my crown. I refuse waste. I live with purpose. Repeat it until delay disgusts you. Declare it until urgency feels natural. Write it until your hand knows discipline. Do not excuse waste as rest. Rest restores power. Waste corrodes it. Rest sharpens strength. Waste dissolves it. The man who confuses waste with rest buries decades in ruin. By 30, if you waste time, your prime is already stolen. By 40, idleness will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you honor time now, your decades will blaze with progress. Say it again, I honor time. My hours build my crown. I refuse waste. I live with purpose. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the drifter but the man who masters his hours. The 10th chain of poverty thinking is doubt. It convinces you that faith is weakness, that belief is foolishness, that certainty is dangerous. It whispers, be careful. What if it does not work? What if you fail? What if you look foolish? And men obey. They hesitate, they retreat, they shrink their vision until nothing remains but safety and regret. You may believe doubt protects you. You may imagine it saves you from error. But in truth, doubt poisons every effort. It slows action, kills confidence, and spreads like infection into every decision. A doubting mind cannot command fortune. Look at the man chained by doubt. He questions every idea, mistrusts every ally, second-guesses every plan. He asks endlessly, what if, until the moment is gone. His aura radiates uncertainty. Men sense it and withdraw. Fortune avoids him because he cannot even trust himself. Now look at the man who lives by faith. He decides with confidence, acts with belief, persists with certainty. He trusts his vision, his allies, and the laws of growth. His aura radiates assurance. Men sense it and follow. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns the man who believes. Consider Henry Ford. Experts mocked his dream of building a car for the multitude. Financiers doubted him, scholars dismissed him. Had he doubted himself, he would have delayed, retreated, surrendered. But he believed. He persisted. He acted. And his faith compelled men to believe until the world itself bent to his vision. Mark this truth, doubt is ruin. Faith is wealth. The antidote to doubt is conviction. Each time you choose belief over fear, you engrave confidence into your subconscious. Each time you act in faith, your aura brightens. Each time you persist with certainty, opportunity yields. Say this aloud, I believe. I act with faith. My vision commands reality. Repeat it until doubt disgusts you. Declare it until belief feels natural. Write it until your hand knows certainty. Do not excuse doubt as prudence. Prudence with fear is only hesitation disguised. True wisdom is faith guided by purpose. By 30, if doubt rules you, your potential is already weakened. By 40, hesitation will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you embrace faith now, your decades will blaze with assurance. Say it again, I believe. I act with faith. My vision commands reality. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the doubter but the believer. The 11th chain of poverty thinking is indecision. It convinces you that waiting is wise, that hesitation is safety, that postponing is maturity. It whispers, do not act yet. Gather more proof. Wait until it is certain. And while you wait, life moves on without you. You may believe you are avoiding mistakes by delaying. You may imagine time will deliver clarity. But time never waits. Every decision delayed is a decision made, a decision to drift, to lose, to surrender your chance. Indecision is silent surrender. Look at the man chained by indecision. He sharpens his sword but never enters battle. He studies, he plans, he waits. By the time he acts, the moment is gone. His aura radiates weakness. Men sense it and dismiss him. Fortune avoids him because the world crowns only the decisive. Now look at the man who decides. He does not wait for perfect safety. He does not demand absolute proof. He sees his aim clearly and acts. If he errs, he corrects. If he fails, he learns. But he moves. His aura radiates command. Men sense it and follow. Fortune bends to him because the world trusts the man who acts. Consider Julius Caesar crossing the Rubicon. He faced uncertainty, risk, even ruin. But he decided. His single choice changed history. Contrast him with countless leaders who delayed until events decided for them. They are forgotten. He is remembered. Mark this truth: indecision is ruin. Decision is power. The antidote to hesitation is decisive action. Each time you choose without delay, you engrave strength into your subconscious. Each time you act with clarity, your aura brightens. Each time you move forward, opportunity yields. Say this aloud: I decide with courage. My choices are law. Fortune obeys my decision. Repeat it until hesitation disgusts you. Declare it until decisiveness feels natural. Write it until your hand knows command. Do not excuse indecision as caution. Caution without movement is just fear in disguise. True wisdom is bold decision guided by purpose. By 30, if indecision rules you, your strength is already diluted. By 40, hesitation will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you decide now, your decades will blaze with authority. Say it again: I decide with courage. My choices are law. Fortune obeys my decision. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the hesitant but the decisive. The 12th chain of poverty thinking is short-sightedness. It convinces you that only today matters, that survival is the highest aim, that planning for decades ahead is foolish. It whispers, just get through this week. Just cover this month. Tomorrow will take care of itself. And so men live from paycheck to paycheck, from problem to problem, never building, never expanding, never mastering their destiny. You may believe focusing only on the present keeps you safe. You may imagine long-term vision is too uncertain. But poverty is born from short sight. Wealth is built by far vision. The man who looks only at today sacrifices his future for comfort. The man who looks beyond today builds comfort that lasts. Look at the man trapped in short-sightedness. He spends all he earns, thinking only of immediate pleasure. He avoids investment because the reward feels too far away. He neglects growth because results are not instant. His aura radiates impatience. Men sense it and mistrust him. Fortune avoids him because he proves he cannot see beyond his nose. Now look at the man of vision. He thinks in decades, not days. He invests today for tomorrow's return. He builds habits that compound, systems that grow, foundations that endure. He may sacrifice short-term ease, but he multiplies long-term wealth. His aura radiates stability. Men sense it and trust him. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns those who see farthest. Consider John D. Rockefeller. In his early years, he lived with discipline and invested in expansion while others indulged in short-term gain. His vision built an empire that shaped industries for generations. Contrast him with men who chased quick wealth. They are forgotten. His influence remains. Mark this truth: short sight is ruin. Vision is wealth. The antidote to short-sightedness is foresight. Each time you plan for decades, you engrave wisdom into your subconscious. Each time you choose long-term growth over instant ease, your aura brightens. Each time you think beyond today, opportunity yields. Say this aloud: I see beyond today. I build for decades. My vision multiplies my fortune. Repeat it until impatience disgusts you. Declare it until foresight feels natural. Write it until your hand knows wisdom. Do not excuse short-sightedness as practicality. Practicality without vision is limitation. True practicality plans for years while acting today. By 30, if short-sightedness rules you, your foundation is already weak. By 40, limitation will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you embrace vision now, your decades will blaze with expansion. Say it again, I see beyond today. I build for decades. My vision multiplies my fortune. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the impatient but the visionary. The 13th chain of poverty thinking is conformity. It convinces you that safety lies in doing what everyone else does, that blending in is wisdom, that following the crowd is progress. It whispers, do not stand out. Do not think differently. Do not risk being alone. And so men drift with the current, carried wherever the tide of opinion flows, never steering their own course. You may believe conformity protects you. You may imagine that if you follow the majority, you cannot be wrong. But the majority is almost always poor in spirit and in wealth. The crowd avoids risk, avoids thought, avoids responsibility. To conform to them is to inherit their mediocrity. Look at the man chained by conformity. He copies the choices of others, works the jobs they work, spends the money they spend, believes the fears they believe. He never questions, never decides, never leads. His aura radiates weakness. Men sense it and ignore him. Fortune avoids him because he proves he has no mind of his own. Now look at the man who masters himself. He thinks independently, questions assumptions, and acts with purpose even if the crowd mocks him. He listens to counsel but makes his own decision. He walks paths few dare, guided not by opinion but by vision. His aura radiates command. Men sense it and follow him. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns those who refuse to drift. Consider Abraham Lincoln. Many of his decisions were unpopular, opposed by crowds and even his own allies. But he refused conformity. He held to principle, guided by vision, and in time the nation itself followed him. Contrast him with leaders who bowed to popular opinion. They are forgotten. He is remembered. Mark this truth, conformity is ruin. Mastery is wealth. The antidote to drift is self-command. Each time you choose vision over opinion, you engrave strength into your subconscious. Each time you lead yourself, your aura brightens. Each time you refuse to drift, opportunity yields. Say this aloud, I command myself. I follow vision, not the crowd. My path builds my fortune. Repeat it until conformity disgusts you. Declare it until mastery feels natural. Write it until your hand knows independence. Do not excuse conformity as humility. Humility without vision is weakness. True humility is strength governed by purpose, not submission to the crowd. By 30, if conformity rules you, your originality is already buried. By 40, drifting will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you embrace self-mastery now, your decades will blaze with independence. Say it again, I command myself. I follow vision, not the crowd. My path builds my fortune. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the drifter but the master of himself. The 14th chain of poverty thinking is ingratitude. It convinces you that nothing is enough, that blessings are ordinary, that effort is wasted unless it pays instantly. It whispers, why be thankful? You deserve more. You are owed more. Life is unfair. And so men live blind to their abundance, bitter in their labor, and poor in their spirit. You may believe dissatisfaction drives growth. You may imagine complaint is harmless. But ingratitude poisons the soil of the mind. It blinds you to opportunities already in your hand. It weakens faith, corrodes joy, and repels fortune. The man who cannot appreciate today is unfit to receive tomorrow's wealth. Look at the man chained by ingratitude. He criticizes his job, mocks his allies, envies his neighbors, despises his small beginnings. He sees only lack, never value. His aura radiates bitterness. Men sense it and avoid him. Fortune avoids him because it will not multiply where there is no gratitude. Now look at the man of gratitude. He thanks openly for small progress, for each opportunity, for lessons in failure. He appreciates the people who support him, the resources he has, the breath in his lungs. Gratitude does not make him passive. It strengthens his faith, deepens his joy, and sharpens his vision. His aura radiates abundance. Men sense it and are drawn to him. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns those who honor what they already hold. Consider Thomas Edison. When his laboratory burned to the ground, destroying years of work, he did not curse. He thanked destiny for clearing the way for new creation. That gratitude turned disaster into fuel, and his achievements multiplied. Contrast him with men who drown in complaint at every setback. They are forgotten. He endures. Mark this truth: ingratitude is ruin. Gratitude is wealth. The antidote to blindness is thanksgiving. Each time you give thanks, you engrave abundance into your subconscious. Each time you appreciate what you have, your aura brightens. Each time you honor your blessings, opportunity yields. Say this aloud: I live in gratitude. I honor my blessings. My thankfulness multiplies my wealth. Repeat it until complaint disgusts you. Declare it until gratitude feels natural. Write it until your hand knows thanksgiving. Do not excuse ingratitude as ambition. Ambition without gratitude is greed, and greed destroys. True ambition builds on thankfulness, because gratitude attracts abundance and fuels growth. By 30, if ingratitude rules you, your spirit is already poor. By 40, bitterness will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you embrace gratitude now, your decades will blaze with joy and expansion. Say it again: I live in gratitude. I honor my blessings. My thankfulness multiplies my wealth. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the bitter but the grateful. The 15th chain of poverty thinking is laziness. It convinces you that rest is the same as idleness, that postponing action saves energy, that opportunity will wait until you are ready. It whispers, do it later. Someone else will do it. You deserve to relax. And so men waste their prime years in comfort that leads only to decay. You may believe laziness is harmless. You may excuse it as rest or self-care. But true rest restores. Laziness rots. It weakens discipline, dulls ambition, and blinds you to opportunity. The man who yields to laziness is like a soldier who sleeps while the enemy advances. Look at the man chained by laziness. He starts tasks but rarely finishes. He talks of dreams but takes no steps. He avoids the hard things, waiting for easier times that never arrive. His aura radiates weakness. Men sense it and dismiss him. Fortune avoids him because he has proven unwilling to act. Now look at the man of action. He rises early with purpose. He begins tasks and completes them. He takes on difficult duties first, knowing they build strength. He does not wait for perfect readiness. He acts, learns, and grows. His aura radiates vitality. Men sense it and follow. Fortune bends to him because the world crowns those who act. Consider Napoleon Hill's principle: successful men form the habit of doing what failures dislike. They act on what is difficult, what is uncomfortable, what others postpone. That habit becomes strength. That strength becomes wealth. Contrast them with men who choose ease. They remain trapped, forgotten, poor. Mark this truth: laziness is ruin. Action is wealth. The antidote to laziness is decisive labor. Each time you begin without delay, you engrave discipline into your subconscious. Each time you finish what you start, your aura brightens. Each time you act boldly, opportunity yields. Say this aloud: I act now. I do what must be done. My action creates my fortune. Repeat it until laziness disgusts you. Declare it until action feels natural. Write it until your hand knows momentum. Do not excuse laziness as rest. Rest sharpens the blade. Laziness lets it rust. Rest prepares for battle. Laziness surrenders before it begins. By 30, if laziness rules you, your potential is already decaying. By 40, idleness will be your habit. By 50, regret will be sealed. But if you embrace action now, your decades will blaze with achievement. Say it again, I act now. I do what must be done. My action creates my fortune. Engrave it into your soul. For fortune crowns not the idle but the man of action. You have seen the chains of poverty thinking. You have named them one by one: fear disguised as prudence, the illusion of scarcity, the slavery of wages, the trap of busyness, the waste of fire, the weakness of isolation, the habit of surrender, the hollow mind, the thief of wasted time, the poison of doubt, the curse of indecision, the blindness of short-sight, the drift of conformity, the blindness of ingratitude, and the trap of laziness. Each of these is subtle. None announces itself loudly. They whisper, they disguise, they corrode slowly until decades are lost and regret is sealed. By 30 they begin to rule. By 40 they harden into habit. By 50 they chain you forever. This is the reckoning of life. But you have also seen the antidotes. Decision breaks fear. Abundance breaks scarcity. Value breaks wage slavery. Focus breaks busyness. Transmutation breaks wasteful passion. Harmony breaks isolation. Persistence breaks surrender. Inner decree breaks hollowness. Urgency breaks delay. Faith breaks doubt. Decision breaks hesitation. Vision breaks short sight. Self-mastery breaks conformity. Gratitude breaks bitterness. Action breaks laziness. Each antidote is not theory. It is law. Each time you practice them, you engrave freedom into your subconscious. Each time you affirm them, your aura brightens. Each time you act upon them, fortune bends to you. This is the law Napoleon Hill revealed: wealth begins in the mind. Every fortune starts with a state of belief, a definite purpose, a disciplined thought. Poverty is not first in the pocket. It is first in the head. So is wealth. Now you stand at the crossroads. In your hands lies the power to choose. To drift with chains or to rise with crowns. To excuse, postpone, surrender, or to decide, believe, persist. Your destiny is not waiting to be given. It is waiting to be seized. Say this aloud as your final covenant. I refuse poverty thinking. I embrace wealth thinking. I command my mind, and my mind creates my fortune. I live in gratitude, I act with courage, I persist until victory. My crown is my mindset, and my wealth is my destiny. Repeat it until it becomes your nature. Declare it until no chain can touch you. Live it until your aura commands fortune itself. The decades ahead will not forgive drifting. They will not excuse delay. They will not pardon surrender. But they will reward decisiveness, faith, vision, gratitude, and relentless action. Your crown is already waiting. Seize it now.